Hey everyone, and welcome back to the True Alien Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian Smith, and get ready for another wild ride into the world of aliens, abductions, UFOs, and all that spooky stuff. We're all about digging into those captivating true stories that make you wonder, is there something really out there? But hey, we like to keep things light, so expect some laughs along the way as we try to figure out what's fact and what's fiction.
And I'm Julia Jones, here to help untangle the mysteries in today's story and see what insights we can uncover.
You know, Julia, sometimes I think the truth is stranger than fiction, especially when it comes to aliens.
Definitely. And today's story is a prime example. Buckle up, folks, because we're about to paranormal probe the case of a vanished astronomer, a creepy New Mexico observatory, and some seriously strange creatures.
Okay, so picture this. We've got Dr. Evangeline Moreau, a brilliant astronomer who's known to be a bit of a recluse. One minute she's sending out a frantic message about lights in the sky, and the next she's gone, vanished without a trace.
It's like something out of a mystery novel, right? And that's where Jaxon Reid comes in. He's an ex-soldier turned journalist, searching for a story that'll make headlines. But there's more to it for Jaxon. After his experiences in Afghanistan, he's searching for something to believe in, something bigger than himself. This UFO investigation becomes his way of confronting the unknown, both out there in the cosmos and within himself.
Right. It's not just about chasing a sensational story for him. So Jackson follows Dr. Moreau's trail to her isolated observatory in the New Mexico desert. And let me tell you, this place already gives off a serious stay-away vibe. There's this strange gouge in the earth leading up to the entrance, like something was dragged through the dirt. And the observatory door is ripped open.
Spooky, right?
It definitely sets the stage for something unsettling. And then we meet Harlan, an old Navajo shepherd who grazes his sheep near the observatory. He warns Jackson about the dangers lurking there, saying things like, "The stars, they ain't what you think. There's things hiding in between them. Things with hungry eyes and a taste for men." Chills right it. Yeah, Harlan's warnings are super creepy. But Jackson, being the skeptical journalist that he is, kind of brushes them off as just folklore. But this is where it gets really interesting. You've got Jackson the skeptic, representing a more scientific worldview. And then you have Harlan, whose perspective is rooted in generations of knowledge, passed down through his people. His warnings suggest there are forces at play that science can't easily explain. It's a classic clash between different ways of knowing, wouldn't you say, Julia?
Absolutely, Adrian. And as the story unfolds, it becomes clear that both perspectives might hold a piece of the puzzle. Adding another layer to this mystery is Dr. Karen Petrov, a disgraced astrobiologist who ends up joining Jackson in his investigation. They're quite the odd pair. Jackson, the hardened ex-soldier, and Karen, the brainy scientist, who might be a little out of her depth when it comes to the paranormal.
But, hey, opposites attract right. And in this case, they're both driven by this burning desire to find out the truth. Together, they venture into a hidden cavern beneath the observatory. And that's when things go from strange to downright mind-blowing. I mean, we're talking about a subterranean ecosystem with bioluminescent fungi, strange insects. It's like something out of a science fiction novel, or maybe even Avatar. Nature always finds a way to surprise us, doesn't it?
Oh.
But this discovery isn't just visually stunning. What do you think the significance of this ecosystem is, Julia?
Well, it really challenges our understanding of life as we know it. This suggests that life could exist in ways we haven't even imagined, in environments we'd consider hostile or impossible. It opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for sure, but before they can ponder the implications of this strange ecosystem, things take a dark turn. They're attacked by a creature unlike anything they've ever seen before.
And I'm not talking about your run-of-the-mill creepy crawlies here. We're talking a shape-shifting blob of what looks like liquid mercury, complete with razor-sharp claws. And the creepiest part, this thing leaves no trace behind. No blood, no tissue, nothing. What kind of creature wouldn't leave any biological evidence behind?
That's what makes this story so unsettling. It suggests that these creatures might not be biological entities as we understand them. Think about it. We know how biological organisms decompose. If these creatures aren't leaving behind organic matter, what are they made of? It suggests they might operate under entirely different principles than the life forms we know.
That's a chilling thought. So we got the Jackson Karen, and even a traumatized Dr. Moreau, who they find hiding in the cavern, all trying to escape this underground labyrinth with these shape-shifting mercury creatures on their heels. Eventually, they come across a pulsating blood-red rift, which Dr. Moreau identifies as the source of these creatures.
Now, this is where things get really interesting. Are we talking about a literal tear in the fabric of space-time, a doorway to another dimension?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And trust me, folks, things are about to get even more intense.
The idea of the rift being a portal to another dimension really makes you question everything we think we know about the universe. Are we talking about extra-dimensional beings here? Are they invaders or refugees? And what would that mean for humanity?
I know, right? It's like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. But it's happening right here in our own backyard. And remember, Jackson, Karen, and Dr. Moreau are still trapped in this creepy cavern with those shape-shifting mercury creatures, closing in on them.
Yeah.
Just when you think things can't get any worse, a terrifying mother beast emerges from the rift. This thing is bigger and more menacing than any of the others. It's like something out of a nightmare.
The mother beast's appearance suggests there's a hierarchy, some level of organization within these creatures that we hadn't seen before. It makes you wonder about their social structure, their intelligence, and ultimately their purpose.
It's definitely not a good sign for our intrepid explorers. With the situation escalating, Jackson, Karen, and Dr. Moreau make a desperate attempt to escape. And just when all hope seems lost, who shows up? Harlan, the old Navajo shepherd, shotgun in hand. Talk about unexpected backup.
Harlan's reappearance is fascinating. He's been a thread woven throughout this story, representing a different way of understanding the world, and now his traditional knowledge might be the key to survival.
It really shows that sometimes the oldest ways are the most effective. Harlan's courage and resourcefulness are a testament to his connection to the land. But even with his help, the escape is chaotic and dangerous. It's a fight for their lives. And in a truly heroic act, Jackson decides to stay behind, to destroy the observatory. He's willing to sacrifice himself to stop those creatures from entering our world.
Think about Jackson's journey for a moment. He started out searching for something to believe in, and now he's risking everything to protect humanity from a threat that most people wouldn't even believe.
It's a powerful moment. And the way it unfolds is just heart-pounding. Imagine Jackson setting the observatory ablaze using gasoline, creating a massive explosion. He barely manages to escape with his life as the entire structure collapses.
It's a clash between human ingenuity and the overwhelming power of the unknown. It raises the question, sometimes is the only way to combat a threat we don't understand, to destroy it, even if it means sacrificing something precious to us.
It's a heavy thought. The observatory is destroyed, the rift seems to be closed, but the story isn't over yet. Jackson and Harlan survive. But they're forever changed by what they've experienced. They've seen firsthand that something truly otherworldly exists out there.
And that's what lingers with you after the story ends. The observatory might be gone, but the questions remain. Did Jackson actually stop the invasion? Or was this just a taste of what's to come? What other dangers might be lurking in the vastness of space? What does it all mean for our understanding of ourselves and our place in the cosmos?
This story really makes you think, doesn't it? It challenges our assumptions about the nature of reality, the limits of science, and the potential for both wonder and terror that exists beyond our everyday perception. But what really stands out to you about this story, Julia? What are your final thoughts as we wrap up our paranormal probe?
For me, it's the idea that we might not be alone in the universe. And not just in a, like, oh, there might be microbes on Mars kind of way, but in a there are beings out there so different from us that we can barely comprehend them kind of way. It's both terrifying and exhilarating at the same time.
I agree. This story pushes us to confront the limits of our understanding, to consider the possibility of realities beyond our own. We often think of science as having all the answers. But when you encounter something like this, something that defies the laws of physics and biology as we know them, it forces you to expand your perspective. It's like looking at the night sky and realizing that for all the stars we can see, there might be countless others, whole galaxies even, hidden from our view. And who knows what might exist in those hidden corners of the universe? What other mysteries are waiting to be uncovered?
This story is a reminder that the universe is vast and full of wonder, but it's also a place of potential danger. And it makes you wonder, are we ready to face what might be out there?
That's a question we all have to grapple with, especially when we consider the implications of Jackson's actions. He destroyed the observatory, effectively cutting off that connection to the other dimension. But was it the right thing to do? Did he save humanity from a potential invasion, or did he close a door to something we could have learned from?
That's the beauty of a story like this. It leaves us with more questions than answers. It sparks our imaginations and challenges us to think critically about the world around us and the possibilities that lie beyond, maybe, just maybe. It even inspires us to look a little closer at the night sky and wonder, what else is out there?
Well said, Julia. And to all our listeners out there, if this story has got you thinking about the mysteries of the universe and the possibility of life beyond Earth, then we've done our job.
Keep exploring, keep questioning.
Yeah.
And keep those imaginations firing. The truth might be out there, but it's up to us to find it.
That's all the time we have for today's episode of the True Alien Podcast. If you enjoyed our paranormal probe into this bizarre and unsettling tale, don't forget to rate and follow the show for more true alien stories. We'll be back tomorrow with another mind-bending journey into the unknown. Until then, keep looking up.